lovely to have you. Oh, I'm just going to move somewhere it's not cutting my head off on Facebook and YouTube. There we are. That's better. Okay, so happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. So I've just announced over on Instagram to Facebook and YouTube that we are going live on 3 platforms today, and we're talking all about how to be seen and heard. But before we even get into that, Sarah, maybe it might be best to have a little introduction as to who we are and what we do.
Brilliant, Rebecca, let's do that. So we are Sarah Bramall, Rebecca Daniel. We are together the Coaching Catalysts, and both of us are transformation coaches. So we work with female professionals and entrepreneurs on purpose, on confidence, and on well-being. And in addition to being coaches, we are both coach trainers for leading organizations. We're also NLP practitioners, and we are DISC personality profile practitioners as well. So we both have a range of different ways in which to work with our clients, essentially to take you from where you are to where you want to be. And how you can work with us is either one-to-one or through our private membership, our wonderful community, the Coaching Catalysts membership community, which is a mix of female professionals and entrepreneurs. So if you're joining us for the first time today, or if you're not for the first time, if you're joining us at all today, come on and say hello. Let us know who you are. Let us know where you're at. And we would really love to hear. We're going to talk today then, Rebecca, about how to be seen and to be heard. So I'll hand over to you to introduce that.
I know, such a big topic, because when we work with our clients, a lot of them come to us with low confidence, low self-esteem. They either want to progress in their career, progress in their business, and if they are in the online business entrepreneurial world, going live and putting themselves out there is a really big and difficult thing for them. So this topic has been really aptly chosen for people that are ready to up level, people that are ready to be seen and heard, people that are ready for all of their awesomeness to be shared with the world. So thank you, So Magic Dreams. Thank you, Sofa Shop. Thank you, Small Bite Sites. Thank you, Miss Catherine, for joining us. And if you're over on Facebook, say hi. If you want to be seen and heard, give me a Y in the comments, whether on Facebook or Instagram. So what does it mean, showing up? I think that's probably the first thing, right? What does it mean to show up? So for me, showing up means that I am putting one foot in front of the other. It doesn't have to be a race. That's the first thing for me. It doesn't have to be a race. We all can go at our own pace, our own speed. But it means putting one foot in front of the other and really accelerating my own growth, my own presence in whatever I choose to do. Showing up doesn't have to be, for me, going live, although this is one part of showing up, right? It doesn't have to be there. But showing up for me is making sure that I can make an impact, making sure that my voice is heard, my message is heard, and that I am helping people along the way. Now, I know that you've got a saying, right, Sarah? What is your saying?
Yeah, my saying, my mantra to myself, Rebecca, and excuse me, I was just popping in and out there because I'm having a bit of problems with my tech today.
Okay.
My mantra that I say to myself is, Sarah, just keep showing up. Because sometimes we don't feel like showing up because we don't feel like it, or we don't show up because we feel that we're not good enough, or that people are going to judge us, or that what we have to do has to be perfect. Sometimes we can set ourselves a really high standard and think, I'm not going to be able to live up to that, so I don't want to show up. And one thing that I learned in teaching, I saw an amazing lady speak who was like she was a dame in the education world. She was kind of a big deal. And she said that consistently good is outstanding practice. So when we show up, it doesn't have to be perfect. It does have to be good, but when we're good and when we're consistent over time, that means that we are performing in an outstanding way. And I really, really resonated with that. And I really tell myself that it doesn't have to be perfect. Just keep showing up. So I'm just going to give a shout out to Louise Martin on Facebook. Great to see you. And we've got Facebook user. We don't know who you are, but you were telling yourself that at the gym yesterday. Exactly that. Just keep showing up. And that is it. Do you know what? Exercise is a really great example. It's a really great example because so often, certainly true for me, you don't always feel like it. Like if I put my trainers on and go out and telling myself I'm going for a run, I don't always feel like it. But I never regret having done it. And so it is that case. You just show up for yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be your fastest ever run or your biggest ever fit or your biggest ever workout. Hey, Angel. It's Angel on Facebook. It doesn't have to be the best you've ever done, but you do just have to show up. Hey, Jess, I think you joined us as well, and we've got So Magic Dreams as well on Instagram. Really lovely to have you with us.
So when I left the classroom, when I left teaching, I was pretty good at showing up, right? We had to show up. We had to show up in front of hundreds of our students every day, in front of teachers for staff briefing. The one that I found the most difficult was showing up in front of other adults, you know, my peers, right? I could show up in front of the kids and I could be however I was, as authentic as I am, right? But showing up in front of the adults was really hard for me. And the reason why it was hard for me was the fear of judgment, the fear of scrutiny. And so that same fear carried with me throughout the early stages of my business, like pressing that go live button. Oh my gosh, like shaking. I thought my hair had to be great. I thought I had to have a full face of makeup. And I'm dressed like this now because Sarah and I have just done a training with TFL. But I'm not normally dressed like this when I go for my lives. I'm in my leggings, I'm in my comfy t-shirts, possibly earrings, no earrings, whatever, you know, take me as I am. And the reason why I am now comfortable to do that is because I am comfortable with myself. You take me as I am, take me, leave me as I am, whatever, you know, and I am happy in my own environment, my own element, the element that I can control. And one thing that's really, really important, and one thing that's really stuck with me is that people will love you for you.
Yes.
Right? So people will resonate with you for you. People will love you for you. And if they don't, there is someone else for them to love.
Right.
There is someone else for them to follow, for them to admire. And the ones that choose to follow and admire us, Sarah, you know, I'm with them all the way. You know, like we're right there cheering them on every step of the way.
Exactly that. That's such a great message, that we show up as ourselves and we show up authentically, because then we're real, right? We're not putting on a show like this is it, this is who we are, this is what we're doing. And some people will love us, some people will be indifferent, some people will really not stand us, and that is true for all of us. And so that's kind of one of those things I think that's outside of our control. So we show up for our people, we show up for you guys who are here now with us, who are live with us and joining us, who want to be here, and we are grateful to you, and that's great. But we don't worry about the rest of the people who are not here or who don't want to be here or don't like what we're doing. That's absolutely fine. We have to learn to be okay with that. So we've got Bella Bob Duke on Insta as well. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us today.
And the question, sorry, Sarah, to interrupt you. The question sometimes that people ask is, how do you show up knowing that people will not like you?
Yeah.
I'm hoping I've rephrased that right. Yeah. How do you show up knowing that you won't be liked? And Sarah and I both specialize in personality and behavior traits. So we know that people have different behaviors and different personalities. We know that. And we know that people tend to gravitate to people that are similar to them, that have walked in their shoes a little bit. It doesn't have to be fully, you know. So Sarah and I know that we attract women, we attract mothers, possibly attract people that are in our local area of St Albans or Kent or South London. And because we can resonate. And so I always say, how do I show up knowing that people won't like me? I show up for the people that do. I show up for the people that need me, because anything that you do, whether it's a product or a service, it's designed to help somebody, or even in the profession, whatever you do, you're designed to help somebody along the way. So I show up, and you guys should show up for the people that need you the most. Show up for the lives that you can impact. Forget about the rest. And that's a bit of my advice, right? And it's hard to forget about the rest, but we can do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the other thing that I'd add to that in terms of visibility, in terms of showing up, is to choose the space that works best for you. Thank you, Angel. Thank you for your feedback. Choose what works best for you. So when I started my business, I've got 3 small children at home. I'm still working my day job. I was like, oh, I should be networking, because that's what I thought you did as a business owner. I should be out there networking. And I did it a few times. I was like, oh, I don't really like this world. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel like this is a good fit for me. I don't really like it. And so I was like, I'm not going to do this anymore. And I have to travel, and it costs money generally to join networking opportunities. Not really where I want to be or what I want to do. But what I did do was I was like, right, well, I've got this thing called Facebook, and I can do Facebook Live at 8 p.m. after my kids have hopefully gone to bed. And I can do that, and I can show up, and I can show up every single week, come what may, and I can be there, and I can get myself out there. And that was the starting point in my business. Now we do encourage our members to go live, because it's a really good way for people to get to know you and to connect with you. They really see the you behind the brand. But if that doesn't work for you, then don't do it. There are plenty of other ways to show up, whether that's through blog writing or podcasting or whatever it is for you. So show up, but do it in your way. Do it in the way that's going to suit you the best.
Mm-hmm. And know that also every day is not the same. Yeah. So I'm going to hold my hands up here, because I spoke to Sarah about this. On Fridays, I'm supposed to go live and introduce the celebrations, right? Yeah, and I know that I'm not always massively consistent with that, because some days I feel like absolute rubbish. I feel tired. Or some days the day just gets the better of me and I have no idea where the time flies. So where Sarah says, show up in a way that's good for you, show up in a way that's that's suitable for you. Also show up when you know that you have that energy to show up. Right. And sometimes it's okay to not show up. Yeah. Right? That sounds really silly, considering this live says showing up, how to be seen and heard. But sometimes it's okay not to show up, because you're showing up for yourself in the environment that you need to show up for. Yeah. And if that makes any sense, I'm hoping that does.
Yeah. I think what you're saying there, Rebecca, and it's a really important message, is that make sure your energy is aligned when you show up. Now, that's not quite the same as I don't really feel like this today, because we know that we can change our energy. We can say, right, I'm going to get myself in the zone, going to get my energy on, going to play my music, I'm going to wear my favorite shoes or do what I have to do to get myself in that zone. And then my energy is in alignment. But you're right, if you're like, I'm having a terrible day, it's all kicking off at home, and this really isn't a good time for me, it's okay to give yourself permission to not do that.
Really,
as well.
Is okay. Yeah.
I love hear from Angel from the guys at TFL. Really refreshing to have somebody outside of our organisation, not from the same backgrounds, and the rest of the team continue doing the same things. So don't have expectations on who you attract. That's really interesting feedback, because we could have said, Rebecca and I, like an engineering environment, right? It's not our natural environment. It's not where you would usually see us. But we were like, no, we'll do this talk for TFL. It's a different environment, a different culture from what we're used to. But actually, Angel's quite right. You just don't know. You don't know sometimes until you try things. So actually, for us this morning, our learning is, let's show up in an environment that's a little bit outside of our comfort zones for us, a little bit different for us, and let's see how that lands. And it's been really lovely to hear that's landed well this morning, Angel. So thank you.
Thank you so much. So I think, I think that we have gone through what showing up means for us. We've gone through how to be seen and heard, also how to be seen and heard in our own way, how it's authentic with ourselves, how we can adjust according to our energy that we have available to us. I think for today's Tuesday Live, I think that's enough for you guys to really ponder on. How are you showing up for yourself? And the next question I would probably invite you to think about is, how do you want to be seen and heard? That's really, really important. Like, what do you want to be known for? What do you want to be heard for or seen for, right? Share that with us in the comments, because that's really, really important. And talking about showing up, Sarah, what are we doing on Monday the 28th? And what are we doing tomorrow, actually?
Two exciting things to share with you. So firstly, tomorrow we have got two experts in education world and two coaches who work with children and teenagers who are coming in to talk to us about how we talk to our children about challenging situations, and specifically we're thinking about the situation in Ukraine, because we've had lots of feedback from you guys in our community saying, I don't, how do we process this as ourselves as adults, and then how do we communicate appropriately with our children. So they're going to be joining us live at 10 a.m. tomorrow. They're both absolutely wonderful, hugely experienced in this area, so do come and join us for that if you can. And then the big one for us is we've got a brand new masterclass next Monday at 8 p.m. And we are going to be talking all about how to grow and nurture an audience that you love. So link to register there. It's called Attract Your Dream Clients with Ease and Build an Audience that you love. And so all you have to do to register is pop into the link there. Remind me, Rebecca, it's bit.ly/Catalyst
Masterclass 2022.
Okay, so come and pop on and we will see you next Monday at 8 o'clock. Now, I'm afraid I have to go because I've got a new cleaner who's just arrived on my doorstep and I really need to go and let her in. So this is what's going on here.
See, it's all about that. I'll let you go, Sarah. I'll let you pop off from the stream.
Thank you. Okay.
So as you can see, it's all real life over here in the world of the Catalyst. So don't forget to register for our masterclass on Monday, the 28th at 8 p.m. Most of the stuff that we do, we offer for free in our Coaching Catalyst community over on Facebook. So definitely Google that if you are over on Instagram and YouTube. And if you're already in the community, then thanks for being part of the community. Thanks for being part of our world. Make sure as well that you share and invite, because we love to get the word out and make sure that we can support as many people as we can. I can see that Louise has said, for me, just turning on your Facebook Live and taking it in, showing up for me so I can take that step forward for me and my business. That is exactly it. So thanks for sharing that, Louise. And I know that Angel has said, that's so good. Rebecca Daniel went through a low period recently and really worried about not showing up. Yeah, no, it's about showing up when it's right for you. And as Sarah has said, we can really switch our energy when we want to switch our energy. If we want to, if it's a day where you just feel really low and you just want to just have a real duvet day or a Netflix day or a day in the garden, that's okay, because it means that you're showing up for you. Thank you to Miss Kim Patterson. If you're over on Instagram, go to the link in our bio. You'll be able to go to our Facebook group and you'll be able to register for the masterclass there. Thank you, Kavita, for joining the Unlikely Mummy. Thank you, Julie New, as well. And we will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. For how to talk to our children during challenging times over on Facebook. So love to you all. Goodbye.